Hello friends, and welcome to this video. I know what you're thinking. Okay, this does not look like a dragon, and you're right, no, it does not. But I mean, Galadriel in Rings of Power does have a very dragon-like personality. So, okay, no. To be honest, I've been going through a tiny little bit of dragon art block. Is that a thing? I'm making it a thing, dragon art specific art block. So, when I feel like I'm going through a bit of an art block, I just like to paint things that I think are pretty. And right now, I think that Galadriel from Rings of Power is pretty. I also love how her personality is in this new series. It's quite different from Galadriel in Lord of the Rings because she is thousands of years younger, and I dig it so much. So much. So I wanted to paint it. This scene is from the first episode. I can pop up a picture of what the scene actually looks like because my rendition isn't perfect. Don't worry, this isn't really a spoiler. I would never do that to you guys, come on. Another really big reason actually why I wanted to paint her is because I've been watching a lot of oil painting videos recently, and I just, people are so good at oil painting. And I've decided that I want to get better at rendering in a painterly style because right now I kind of have always loved this, but I really like pieces where there are portions that are quite almost realism in their level of accuracy, and then other areas that are more painterly and it just really drives your focus well, and it's obvious that you're choosing to put painterly strokes in certain areas, and I think it gives a piece like variation in texture, and I love it so much. Lots of the people that I follow on Instagram paint in a style similar to that. And then I would say that one artist that pretty much everyone who's watching this video is probably familiar with is Ross Tran or Ross Draws. He draws in a style that's, I mean, his is more semi-realistic, but you can see that there are areas of his paintings that are, smooth and accurate and like well rendered, and other parts that are rough and more painterly, and it's awesome. I love that style. Basically, I just really want to get better at painting so that I can control how painterly things look, which areas are painterly, which areas are accurate, control the focal point more, and just, get better. And the way to do that is to do studies. Also, if I'm ever going to draw dragon riders for real, then I need to learn how to paint humans. So I'm still learning that. This is actually the first piece that I've really tried to get likeness in a painting, and it's definitely not perfect. Every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, tweak this, tweak this, tweak this. But at the same time, it's still a lot better than I expected it would turn out. So I'm happy with it, but also excited to get better, which I think is a good place to be in mentally, to be honest. Another thing that I tried to do with this painting is spend more time on it. I tend to get really excited for a piece to be finished, and I end up kind of going more quickly than I should, but I definitely worked on this for multiple days. I think it's good to set the painting down, come back to it a day or so later, fix things, set it down again, come back again, and the more you do that, I think you just notice things that you're like, oh, I can fix this. Yeah. I'm also not a patient person, so I need to work on being patient with a piece. Don't just try to finish it all in one sitting or just in a few hours or in, even 2 sittings. I need to relax and take my time because if I don't do that, then I miss out on adding a lot of details to my paintings, which is another one of my goals, having more details. Okay, so now we're moving on actually to an earlier painting. This is generic Targaryen woman with dragon because I started watching House of the Dragon. I also wasn't, at this point, again, I had never tried to do a piece that actually looks like a real human being, and so I was too nervous to do Daenerys, because I mean, who doesn't love Daenerys? Again, I'm season 8, not canon. We're just not going to talk about it. I think the colors turned out so cool in this early stage of the painting. I was super excited, but at the same time, I didn't really know how the forms of the human face go, and so I was really tentative with my forms. I didn't know what I was doing, and the end result, I thought I could do better because I did a few human faces studies trying to learn the forms of the face. So after that, I wanted to come back to this painting and work on it more. But here I'm still in that first pass. Now I get to draw the dragon, which, goes way faster than the humans because I kind of know what I'm doing when I'm painting dragons, and it's just my comfort zone and my happy place. And I wanted to push, I guess, forms on the dragon too. A lot of the Game of Thrones dragons are really thorny, spiky, with deep set eyes, and they look, a lot more like a realistic lizard than my dragons do. And yeah, so I wanted to mess with that, give thorns, spikes, all that stuff, and just really play with brush strokes and forms and lighting and stuff because, it's my comfort zone, and so it's more fun and easy to experiment with that than it is to experiment with something I've never drawn before. Or I guess at this point I have drawn humans before, but I'm they're still new to me. Yeah. Anyway, looking back at this process, I kind of like how the dragon is turning out. I mean, I've been so focused on the human in this artwork, and the human being like, oh, I should fix this. I'm not sure if I 100% like it, but I don't know what to do with it. But the dragon has some really nice painterly shapes, and I like him. Yes, this is loosely based off of Rhaenyra and Syrax because Syrax is a gold dragon and Rhaenyra is a main character in House of the Dragon. But I also wanted to do my own thing because I'm a rebel, and so this is random Targaryen with random dragon. Right, so here's where I start questioning all of my decisions and kind of backtrack and do some repainting a little bit. That's one thing that I'm still working on, but also proud of how far I've come in that comfortability in repainting something. I think repainting and being okay with repainting something is an important artist skill. Because if you're oh, this leg doesn't look quite right, but I'm tired and I don't want to redo it, you're never going to achieve the true potential of your art. So yes, I'm impatient, so I have been resistant to redoing things in art, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with redoing things, and I accept it, and I'm like, you know what, we're just gonna do it again and we're gonna have fun, and it's gonna turn out better probably. And worst case scenario, we have a saved layer, or we're painting on a new layer now, and we can always go back. So with traditional art, not so much. But with digital art, you're safe most of the time. Unless you forget to start a new layer, which I admit happens to me a lot, but still. All right, here's where I get to just coming back a few days later and redoing things even more. I wanted to draw out the forms of the face so that it looks more like a face, and also because in the original I feel like her eyes are looking one way but her nose is looking a different way, and that doesn't really make for a great painting. So redrawing in the forms helped me correct that a bit, I believe. And actually it's interesting to see how much faster this process goes. First of all, because I'm drawing on top of something I've already drawn, but also because I have been practicing drawing humans, and so I know more about what I want to do. I also wanted to add more contrast to the dragon so he doesn't just fade into the background because I don't know. The dragon doesn't deserve to be faded into the background. Come on. And then I was experimenting with adding like scale texture, which, I need to admit to myself that I need to put effort into making a good scale brush, but I've tried it before and it didn't really work out. It's one of those things that I should do, but it's way more fun to just go ahead and paint stuff. So, yeah. This is the same energy of like not looking at references because you just want to like get into the painting. I guess if anyone out there knows a good scale brush for Procreate for not very expensive, let me know because I am in the market. In any case, again, with the rambling and the tangents, we have a more human looking woman now whose eyes and nose are more or less on the same face that isn't, twisted with the eyes looking one way and the nose facing a different way. I did leave her quite painterly as well because I really liked it. I don't know. And there we go. Here is my final product of Galadriel and random Targaryen woman. I don't know. We should name her and her dragon, but at this point, I think it's just funny to call them random Targaryen woman and dragon. If you get this far and feel like naming her, comment a name. And with that, that's all I have for you today. I hope this was enjoyable. And as always, thank you for watching this video. Yeah. See you around.